Cosmetic surgery is becoming more a part of everyday life, and our next guest knows that journey all too well.
Yes, Alan McGarry joins us to talk about their journey and his upcoming appearance on a new US show on reversing cosmetic surgery. Before we chat to Alan, let's take a look at the series.
I've spent at least over $100,000 on cosmetic work.
We're all considering rewinding a cosmetic procedure. Larissa, what have you done?
Life on my knees.
Your knees?
You mean?
You have a needle, get me on the bed.
Dr. Terry and I are going to help you decide whether you will rewind your life or stay the way you are.
You've got a needle, get me on the bed. That was you with the EpiPen this morning. Alan McGarry, hello, it's lovely to have you here. How are you doing?
Good.
This is Botched Plastic Surgery Rewind.
Yeah.
So this is a reality TV show hosted by Michelle Visage.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes. And you got Terry Dubrow and Dr. Spirit on site as well.
Right, so this is something that you have recently taken part in. But let's go all the way back to when you were or when you started getting cosmetic procedures.
Yeah, I
Was
suppose.
there a reason?
Yeah, like I suppose growing up, I was, ginger, I was a little bit more chubbier, and people used to pick on me, and I just wanted to change my appearance. I just wanted to get away from all those kind of bad names. So I started getting into like fillers, because lip fillers back years ago was a really big thing. The Jenners were doing it, so I think that was an addiction, so we all started doing the trend. So yeah, I started doing that, and it just kind of went on from there, and then I think I didn't realise when enough was enough, so I continued to just enhance my appearance every time I walked into a clinic.
And was it because of what people were saying about you that you decided, you're looking in the mirror and you're going, I need to change?
Do you know what it is? It's like a 50-50 thing. Do you know the kind of way? I always had people saying things regardless, but I think I just wanted to fit in. And I don't know where I wanted to fit in.
I was going to say, where are you fitting in?
I don't know. I think it was just more so because social media was a really big thing, and I think I just wanted to be a part of that kind of tribe. I think it was just when you see something, you get influenced very quickly, and I just wanted to enhance something that I didn't really have. I suppose when you got a flat lip, I suppose I wanted to have a bigger lip. I think that's the reason why I started doing it.
And what age were you?
19 or 20.
19 or 20?
Yes.
And I'm assuming you weren't alone. Like there was a gang of you and you'd be like, come on, we'll go and try this.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Like some of my friends back then would have been doing it as well, but it was more kind of me, because my friends are not really into a lot of cosmetic work that are a little bit different than me. But I suppose my kind of tribe was more kind of like on social media friends. So I think a lot of them are doing it. When you do social media content creation, sometimes you're offered to come into a clinic and have a free treatment. I think that's where I went wrong. I was just kind of doing things for promotion, I suppose. I think I just took it to a joke the next stage.
So if clinics were inviting you to come in and get some stuff done, you were going, yeah, I'll get it done?
Yeah, I kind of was. Yeah, I really was. Now I'm kind of in a different time zone in my life. I'm a bit like, I don't think I'll do it again now.
And did you ever, during that period, look at yourself and go, I've gone too far? Or did you always think, no?
No, never.
You never thought,
That was the strange thing. No, I never thought it. My friends would say it to me, and my mum.
What would they say? What would your mum say to you?
Lay off the filler. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and what were you getting done?
Lips, cheeks, chin, jawline, PDO threads. Yeah, so I had a few bit of stuff done to myself to alter it. So, but I noticed looking back at it, I was very kind of swollen looking. So, yeah.
I suppose when you look at yourself from when you were a child, I suppose your mother would have been looking at you. And I remember watching you on Eating with the Enemy, and you had jet black hair and all that. Like your natural hair colour is red.
Yes.
And you had jet black hair, and you were on a show in the UK, and they dyed you back to your natural hair colour, and you hated that.
I hated it, yeah. I think it was just because when you get older, you get a little bit more wiser.
Yeah.
And I think when I was there, I just wasn't that confident to understand what I wanted in life and what I wanted to feel or look like. And I wish now I could tell my old self when I was on that show, when I went back ginger, that it was actually okay and it wasn't actually that bad. I think I just had a little bit of flashback of, okay, I'm going back ginger, but I don't think I want to do that because people are going to start slagging my hair colour. So I think that's why I kind of reacted very quickly to that scenario.
Is it weird because you've been involved in the reality TV world and content creation world for a long time? Is that one of the reasons that you did it? You're kind of going over to the UK, you're doing stuff in Ireland, and it's kind of, you were definitely recognisable and noticeable with that. Like, was that another thing that was fueling it to be like, well, people know who I am with this?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's just, when I done on this show, I kind of knew who I was now. But back then, I was just not understanding what I wanted to look like. You know, I was just trying to change different looks. I was trying to enhance myself. And I think I didn't know where I wanted to be and who I wanted to look like. But now I'm starting to feel a little bit better, like looking like myself now.
And why did you decide then to go on this particular show?
So it came at the right time for me. So I was kind of like not understanding why I'm consistently having work done and why I'm having some surgery. And I was approached to go on the show, and I loved the whole concept, because the concept for me was just like, actually, you know what? This couldn't have came at a better time for me, because I don't know if I want to be continuing to do it.
So tell us about it. It's called Botched Plastic Surgery Rewind. So we're assuming that procedures are getting reversed.
Yes.
Is that what it's all about, or what else is happening?
Yeah, so you reverse what you had done. So you go into the retreat and you might have big boobs or a big ass, and your job then is to see if you want to actually reverse what you had done in the past.
Oh, they ask you, do you want it? You're not signing up to get it
No,
done.
God, no.
So there's a whole process within the show.
whole process. There's challenges. You have psychology assessments, Dr. Spirit. You have chats with Michelle. You have chats with Terry Dubrow. And then at the very end of your actual stay in the retreat, you decide what you're going to do. And you go through this rewind tunnel. And when you come out of the rewind tunnel, you either come back as your natural self, or you stay the way you were when you first came into the retreat. So this is what the whole journey is about, which was so amazing, because I got to learn about myself in it.
So you decided that you wanted to reverse.
Well, I can't really talk about that, so you'll have to tune in.
You're here with your red hair, Alan. We know that you did something. Come on. Come on, you've got black hair in that.
But I mean, reversing that, is that similar? Like if anybody was trying to get it done, if you had fillers, how do they reverse that?
So dissolver. So
it's
they
a
dissolve.
dissolver.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to get any fillers done, you get it all dissolved, which is not, an easy process, because it takes a couple of hours to do. So some people go in with really big, bad kind of filler kind of situations. Yeah.
So let's talk about the personalities involved in this reality TV show, because Americans on reality TV, if anyone's ever watched The Traitors UK and The Traitors, it's very different. Reality TV stars in America, they know what they're doing. They go in with a game plan. What was it like being with, like, Aubrey O'Day? She was in Dainty Kane, which was a reality TV star managed by Sean Combs.
Yeah.
So she's been on, you had Real Housewives inside there as well.
Yes.
What was that like?
Brilliant. Like, to be honest, I didn't even know these type of people were going to be in the house. I didn't even know it was kind of a celebrity show. I just thought it was just normal people, social media people. So when I see Michelle Visage as the host, I do scream, because obviously, it's Michelle Visage, she's an icon. Amazing. These were people that I never thought would even have a conversation with me, have a cup of tea with me. So nice. We really had a good time, and I'm in touch with Kim and Larissa from the show.
So Kim
regularly.
Zolak, she's in Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Very funny.
Is it Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't be tardy for the party. And all these, she is just a tonic. You'd laugh at her all day. She doesn't care. She just rolls off her mouth. She's brilliant. I didn't have any issues with anybody, because they were actually really good fun. I think a lot of people in the house in this retreat were there for the right reasons.
But they want drama, don't they?
I think there was drama maybe with some people, but I don't know, actually.
He's looking, he's teasing it forward.
Can I ask you then, and maybe back to a personal note on this, you've done this show.
Yeah.
And from what I was getting of it, your self-esteem was quite low, and that's why you were doing this. How's Alan now?
Alan is in a very good place now, like really. Like I'm not as... I think I've toned it down a little bit now. I think I'm not as out there and looking for attention, probably in the wrong reasons or whatever. I feel really good now. I think doing this show, and it sounds very cliche and very cheesy, but it did change my perception of life now, and it changed me as a person 100%, because I just feel much more confident in myself. Don't get me wrong, I have my days like everybody else where, you don't feel good, but yeah, I'm feeling much better in myself now.
If you could say anything to a 19-year-old who's kind of thinking about changing themselves because they don't feel right inside.
Don't. Just embrace yourself, and just don't touch yourself at all. Just enjoy your life and don't worry what other people say. And I wish I could say that to myself when I was 19.
Alan McGarry, it's called Botched Plastic Surgery Rewind. It's going to be on Hey You from Thursday, July 10th. Thank you so much for joining us, Alan. Thanks a million.
Thank you.